Okay, let's talk about Spotify. For so many of us, it's just the soundtrack to our lives, right? But lately, it seems like Wall Street is the one that can't stop listening. The stock price has been hitting this incredible new high. So what's going on? What's the secret symphony behind this huge surge? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and find out exactly what's happening.
All right, let's just jump right in with the number that has everyone talking. Check this out, a 44.25% jump in stock value just since the start of the year. I mean, wow, that is not just simple growth. That is a massive statement. And it really makes you wonder, right? What is Spotify doing so right that has investors this completely captivated? And look, this isn't just some random market hype. We're talking about the big players, the heavy hitters like Bernstein, basically giving Spotify a standing ovation. They're rating the stock as a strong outperform. And when you see the experts getting this confident, you just know there's something real, something substantial, happening just beneath the surface. So that's the big question, isn't it? What is really going on behind these numbers? Okay, let's get to the heart of it. We are going to dissect the financials, we're going to decode the strategy, and yeah, we'll even take a peek into the future to figure out exactly why investors are, you could say, cranking up the volume on their Spotify stock. All right, first things first, we've got to follow the money. And to do that, we're going to look at Spotify's latest quarterly report. Think of it as our roadmap. And believe me, the numbers on it tell a really, really compelling story about growth and, more importantly, profitability.
So, where does it all start? It starts with sheer scale. Get this, 713 million people. That's how many are pressing play on Spotify every single month. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is not just a user base, it's practically a global nation of listeners. And that right there is the massive foundation for everything else they do.
And here's the kicker. That huge audience, they are not just listening for free. Oh no, they are paying up. In just one quarter, we're talking 3 months, Spotify brought in almost 4.3 billion euros in revenue. I mean, if you ever needed proof that their model works, this is it. You build a giant audience, and then you figure out how to effectively monetize it. Bam.
But okay, revenue is one thing. Here's the number that really gets the serious analysts excited. Free cash flow. Now, if you're not familiar, just think of this as the pure, cold, hard cash that's left over after you've paid all the bills and reinvested what you need to back into the business. And Spotify raked in over 800 million euros of it in just 3 months. That tells you this isn't just some popular app anymore. It is an incredibly efficient cash-generating machine.
Okay, this year-over-year comparison, this is where the story gets really exciting. So you can see revenue took a nice, healthy jump. But the real headline here? Look at the net income, the actual profit. It has nearly tripled. That is huge. It shows Spotify isn't just getting bigger, it's getting so much smarter and way more profitable.
So those numbers are absolutely impressive, right? But how did they do it? You know these things don't just happen by accident. Well, it all comes down to this really powerful core strategy that Spotify themselves call the audio flywheel.
Now, here's the key to really understanding Spotify's recent success. You have to realize it's not just a music app anymore. Not even close. They have built an entire audio empire on these 3 pillars. Music, of course, but also podcasts and now audiobooks. This change from being just a jukebox to becoming an entire audio library is absolutely crucial. It gives you so many more reasons to open the app and stay there.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The CEO himself, Daniel Ek, calls it a flywheel. And the idea is, well, it's brilliant because it's so simple. Think about it. They add great new stuff, like podcasts. That brings in more users. And with more users listening, it's more valuable for creators and advertisers, who then bring even better content to Spotify. See how that works? It's this powerful, self-feeding cycle of growth that just keeps spinning faster and faster. And this strategy is absolutely delivering real results. The data couldn't be clearer. When someone listens to more than just music, say they listen to podcasts too, they spend way more time in the app and they become way more loyal. So this engagement, this is the powerful engine that's driving all those awesome financial numbers we were just looking at. And if you need just one killer stat, one number to prove this whole flywheel thing is really spinning, here you go. A 54% surge in people watching video podcasts in just 1 year. This is the proof right here. It confirms that their massive bet on podcasting, it wasn't just some side project. It's now a core, essential part of their growth. Okay, so we've seen the impressive results. We've talked about the brilliant strategy that got them to this point. But what's next? Where is Spotify heading? Well, according to the analysts watching them, the answer lies in something they're calling the Superfan era.
So, the Superfan era, what does that even mean? Well, think of it as a huge strategic shift. They're moving away from a one-size-fits-all kind of service. The new goal is to find their most passionate, most engaged users, the so-called superfans, and then create special premium experiences just for them. And of course, charge a premium price for it.
And we're not talking about some small minor upgrade here. No way. This new Platinum tier is going to offer features that true audiophiles have been begging for, like that perfect, high-fidelity lossless audio. And they'll bundle it with cool stuff like advanced AI DJs for personalization. It's really a classic business strategy, right? Find your best, most dedicated customers and give them a really compelling reason to spend more with you.
And this is why Wall Street is getting so excited. This new Platinum tier, it costs more than double the standard plan. Just think about that for a second. Even if only a pretty small percentage of their most dedicated users decide to upgrade, that still creates a massive new stream of high-margin revenue that goes straight to their bottom line. It's a potential gold mine.
So this really brings us full circle, doesn't it? Spotify has built this absolute fortress on the back of strong financials and a super smart growth strategy. And now they're betting their entire next chapter on their most loyal fans. So the big question we're left with is this. Will these superfans actually be willing to pay up to unlock Spotify's next massive chapter of growth? Right now, investors are betting yes, but the final say? Well, that comes down to listeners like you and me all around the world.